As a full-time pro-life advocate, I talk about abortion every day. My job is to teach pro-life people how to think about abortion clearly so they can graciously speak about the issue with people who disagree. I have personally had hundreds of conversations with pro-choice people, but there is still one question about abortion that I hate answering more than any other, and I know it is coming, even before the conversation begins. What about abortion in the case of rape? I hate the question because I hate my answer. Let me tell you why. To help you understand where I am on this question, I need to give you a quick overview of why I think this case of pregnancy is not actually as straightforward as some people seem to think it is. Oh boy, I can already feel the wrath of the comment section, and we're just getting started. But just stay with me and maybe we can get through this video together. The first thing I do when someone asks me this question is answer them directly by saying, no, I don't think that women should have abortions, even in the case of rape. But I think it is really important for me to explain why I have come to that conclusion. This is an approach that some ERI staff members favor, but not all, so you don't have to start here if it doesn't work for you. The reason I start by answering them directly is that I don't want them to think I'm not going to answer the question. I think the why behind my answer is actually more important than the answer itself, so I always ask them to give me a chance to explain to them why. But I feel like they listen to me more if they aren't just looking for a yes or no answer to the question. I want to help the pregnant rape survivor in any way that I can. And on the surface, giving her the legal choice for an abortion seems like a way to help relieve some of what is happening to her. The healing process for the survivor in the aftermath of rape is a complicated one, but a pregnancy complicates it further and most likely will add to the grief, stress, and pain of the situation. And at some level, I can imagine how an abortion could help relieve some of this added suffering, because that child conceived in rape connects the woman to her rapist for as long as the child lives. Throughout the pregnancy and afterwards, the baby is a reminder of what happened, but if she has an abortion, she is able to sever that connection. I think most pro-life people are cognizant of the emotional pain, but many underestimate the additional legal challenges she might face. I've heard some well-meaning pro-life people say, she can just gift this child to a loving adoptive family or bravely choose to parent the child. It's not that easy, and understating it doesn't help anyone. If she gives birth, depending on her state, she might be facing legal custody battles with a man who raped her, even if he's prosecuted for the rape. Additionally, the pregnant rape survivor has been forced to become a mother. And I think the possible pain of this reality is sometimes not thought through enough by pro-life advocates. Consider what is going through her mind if she never wanted to be a mom in the first place. At the very least, we know she certainly did not want to become a mother in this way. And even if she places her child with an adoptive family, I think it is very reasonable for the birth mom to spend the rest of her life wondering or worrying if her child is happy, safe, and loved. I don't want her to carry around that kind of concern and anxiety. I very badly want to help the rape survivor take back the agency that was taken from her. I want to give her the choice to separate from her rapist forever. I want to give her a way out of this pregnancy or from motherhood if she doesn't want it. And while I'm very skeptical that abortion can actually accomplish any of these things in the way we might wish that it can, even if it could, I must say that women should not choose abortion, even in the case of rape, because I know what abortion is. It is an act of violence against an innocent human person, and I cannot accept that as a moral solution, even if it would reduce suffering. My position on this question makes me uncomfortable, but it is a bullet I must bite. I hate the options we have to choose from. Either tell the pregnant woman that she has to give birth to her rapist child, or that it is okay for her to kill the baby. I hate picking between these two options because they are both awful. I don't want the rape survivor to suffer, especially after the horrific experience she's already gone through. But the alternative is killing an innocent child. At first, it may seem that pro-life people like me want to force her to be a mother because I'm telling the pregnant woman that she must remain pregnant. But abortion is not a preventative choice. The pregnant woman is already a mother of her rapist child. The baby is already there, and I'm saying that she shouldn't kill a baby who already exists. I refuse to stand down and pretend like abortion is something harmless when it absolutely is not. I cannot accept an act of violence against an innocent person as a moral solution to the problem, even if I hate the result. I want to end this video by offering some general advice for those of you who hate this question as much as I do and want to give a better response. 1. Acknowledge that rape is a horrible and evil act. In other words, it is really not okay to only talk about the baby. You need to pay proper respect to the experience of survivors. This brings me to my second point. Never fake compassion. You really should have compassion for the pregnant woman, not just concern for the life of the child. If in your heart you only care about the baby and not her mother, then you should spend some serious time and reflection before talking with people about abortion. 3. Be generous with the pro-choice person who asks you this question. You should assume that they are genuinely concerned with how this difficult situation should be handled, rather than automatically jumping down their throat for picking the most fringe example possible to defend their view and catch you in a corner. I have seen some pro-life advocates respond this way the first time a pro-choice person asks about rape, and I think that is a big mistake. For those of us who talk about abortion all the time, the question of rape sometimes feels like a trap the pro-choice person is trying to catch you in. And it is true that sometimes the person is purposely choosing the most extreme example possible as a way of trying to win with rhetorical force. And that's definitely not engaging in good faith. I am not saying that you should never call out someone for doing this, but I am saying that if every time someone asks you, what about abortion in the case of rape, you respond with something like, wow, way to use a horribly painful experience of women just to push your abortion agenda, instead of giving a real answer, then most of the time you will miss the opportunity to have a real discussion and answer a fair question. Finally, clarify for people that when we're looking for a solution to a serious problem, we shouldn't choose a solution that includes an act of violence against an innocent person. I would love to hear from you in the comments below about how you respond when this comes up in conversation. But don't just tell me what you say when you're asked, what about rape? Tell me how it goes for you. Does it work? Do you feel like it's time to try something else? Do you hate your answers too? I'm Rachel Crawford with Equal Rights Institute.